Andrew Cabigo at Radio Memphis there with Laramie Renee and Hell on Wheels.
I dig that.
Yeah, La Pistola with whiskey. Speaking of hell, there's a cat who is now the mayor of Hell, Michigan.
A cat?
A cat. He's a...
I've met a dog that was a mayor before, so...
Well, and it's appropriate that in Hell, Michigan, they voted in a cat. Because they are creatures from the pits of hell.
They are. I love them, but they really are.
This guy is, he's a Bombay. He's a black cat, and he's got oversized, massive eyeballs. And he's got like some sort of weird disability, and he walks. He's like bow-legged. And,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor cat, whatever. I don't know how you want to search it, but I saw that over the weekend. I thought, well, this is clever.
Mayor,
or cat mayor.
Hell.
Mayor of Hell. And it's this cat named Mr. Wombles or whatever his name is. And
Jinx.
Jinx is the cat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's kind of hideous. He's probably really sweet, but he's a cat. He's just happy to be anywhere. But yeah, he's their local celebrity that you see.
Oh, okay. There was a dog. Oh, wait. No,
is this the town where they always have an animal that is mayor?
Hell, the one in Michigan.
Yeah.
And, come on. I don't. That's in Minnesota. Yeah. Jinx, the black cat with massive social media following on TikTok.
Oh, well, of course he does, because he's a cat.
My God. What is wrong with that cat's face?
It's a birth defect.
He's got the biggest eyes. Those don't even look. I think that's a stuffed cat. Those are. Does he move?
I'm sure there's some video of his ass doing cat things.
And you know what's really embarrassing?
What's that?
This cat was not thinking. Running for public office.
Was he got skeletons in his closet?
And he let that picture out in public.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Oh, that poor cat. That was like a bad weekend in Tijuana.
I know.
And the cat looks like he's just got caught.
Oh, yeah.
He's surprised. Hey, what? Get that camera out of my face. Mayor of what? No, he doesn't even know what all that is.
Jinx.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Sir Jinx.
Oh, his eyes are like that all the time.
He always looks surprised.
He always looks surprised.
It's probably because he is surprised everywhere he goes.
Well, he didn't think he'd win the election.
He didn't think he had anything going on over there. Imagine you walking in on his ass while he's licking his butthole, and he gives you that look. It's like, whoa, what did you just find in there, buddy? Well, what's that?
Oh, my God.
Speaking of animals, from the world of horse racing.
Yes.
I don't talk much about it, but this is a fascinating story. I have my reasons about this. Horse racing, I think, is one of the most crooked things going these days. There's so much money tied into it that's why it still exists, because of the amount of cash that's in there. They take dog racing away, and that's like they don't really mistreat any of those dogs. Occasionally because they do drug test them.
Yeah.
And occasionally you'll find that there's been some performance-enhancing drug involved,
Sure.
And then the dog gets scratched, and then the trainer, the kennels get fined.
Yeah, and they can't,
And it's policed itself.
Sure, right.
And it's not like they're giving them a cigarette and a blindfold and they shoot anybody. That just doesn't happen.
No.
But this is an interesting story. A trainer and her horse have been banned from racing after methamphetamine was found in both of their systems.
Wow.
After a winning race. Yeah.
So she hit the crack pipe and then handed it puff, puff, pass.
Pretty much. Rochelle Lockett received a 3-year disqualification from the Racing Integrity Board. I think this is in Australia.
Why not go into jail for...
Well... That could still happen anyway.
Yeah, because that's cruelty to an animal too.
If she can stay off of the meth for 18 months, she might be allowed to saddle up again. The test came after B Flexi is the name of the horse. That's his stage name, won his race at the Otaki Maori Racing Club meeting at Otaki on January 5th of this year. Yeah, it takes a while for all this to go on. That horse won a purse of $6,720.
Okay.
In Australian money. The horse was they after they win, they typically they'll march him over to the barn and they make him piss in a cup, or they do swabs
blood
and all
test
that,
or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They swabbed him after the win, and when the results came back later in the month, they showed that there was methamphetamine in his system.
Wow.
How does a horse keep the pipe lit?
You got to light it. There's no opposable thumbs, man. You can't even work the carb.
So Rochelle Lockett.
Is there a carb on a crack pipe?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking weed pipe.
Rochelle Lockett was then required to provide urine and hair samples of her own.
Yeah.
Which both came back positive for the Class A controlled drug. Traces of methamphetamine were also found inside the horse truck used to transport this horse. The trainer, 50-year-old, initially offered investigators no explanation as to how meth got into her horse's system.
I don't know how that
but did admit to taking the drug herself in November of 2021. She's got drama.
November of 2021, and it's still in her system.
Well, this all went down in January, so there's that. Now, after her own results came back positive in late January, she admitted to using methamphetamine on her birthday 2 days prior to the race meeting. Not such a smart move.
I don't think that's, bullshit.
The manager of the integrity unit of, I guess, horse racing, Neil Grimstone, said that the fact that Lockett had misled an investigator about the extent of her drug use was an aggravating factor. The quote, the respondent has admitted only use on a very casual basis, where the hair sample she provided showed a history of methamphetamine use over the previous months.
Right.
Yeah, the hair thing is the issue.
Oh, yeah, man. Hair follicle, they can tell you how long you've been.
Right. Now, the board met in early April to discuss Lockett's penalty, and during the meeting, she told the committee she never wanted to hurt an animal. So maybe she was blowing it into the horse's face, I guess. She said she loved horses, and had worked with them her whole life. And, not anymore. She said she knew she had let everyone in her life down and would do whatever she could to make it right. Yeah, put her horse in fucking rehab.
Put herself in rehab.
Her employer asked the board to give Lockett a chance, saying thoroughbred racing was short of good people like Ms. Lockett, who was a loyal and hardworking person, but made a mistake. When approached by reporters, Lockett, a licensed trainer who had been involved in the thoroughbred racing industry all her life, said she was focusing on her recovery and did not want to make any further comment. She no longer has any horses and told the board
she shouldn't. No.
And told the board she was wanting to get treatment for her use. Since 2001, there have been 14 cases where trainers or jockeys have tested positive for methamphetamine.
That's
horrific.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah. I can't believe that.
But once again, as I said earlier, there is so much money tied up into this industry that they just turn a blind eye to this stuff until something happens.
Right.
Like
this. What would make them want to test her, I wonder? Well, you know what? Maybe if
the horse comes back positive
for meth, they want to check her.
Okay, who else around? It probably wasn't just her, but all the other people that have been around.
I'm sure that,
the grooms, all of that stuff. They want to test everybody to see how this horse would have wound up with meth.
Right.
Now, they could have injected it.
Yeah. Oh, certainly.
It's speed, so that's, and make his heart go pitter-patter.
Yeah, that's not good. You can kill him. Yeah.
Kill a horse with that stuff.
Yes. So why would you take it?
However, the first instance of horse testing positive for methamphetamine was a horse named I'm Not Ticklish in 2014. His trainer, Tracy Newton, was banned for 3 years and denied giving her horse meth, nor did she have any of it in her system. It's the women in the horses. What is it with here? The SPCA's specific officer, so they're involved, Dr. Allison Vaughn, said that not many studies had been done on the impact of methamphetamine on horses, but given the negative effects it has on people, it shouldn't be given to or used around any animal. Well, that just makes sense.
That makes, perfect sense.
The SPCA's position on this is pretty clear. The racing industry has a responsibility to keep these animals safe. Yes. She said, we're seeing these kinds of cases crop up quite a few times, though it doesn't always appear to have been intentionally administered to the horse. Still, it's unacceptable, she said. The veterinarian.
So, if it wasn't intentionally administered, then were they just smoking it around the horse? And
contact high, perhaps?
Yeah.
Earlier this week, horse trainer Scott Dixon was fined $14,000 after being found guilty of racing a horse with a banned substance in his system. And it's the second time in 4 years Dixon had been penalized by the Racing Integrity Board after excess carbon monoxide was detected in his horses.
What?
Well, he's got a ventilation issue in his stable, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
These tests are done to detect the presence of sodium bicarbonate or other alkaline substances which help prevent the buildup of lactic acid, giving a racehorse an advantage in endurance events.
Okay.
Typically, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, can be added to an animal's feed or mixed with water and sugar and pumped into the animal's stomach through a tube in their nostril in a process known as milkshaking. Dr. Vaughn said milkshaking in particular was especially dangerous. It's stressful, dangerous, and recent studies have shown it doesn't even work. They're dealing with old wives' tales and stuff. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There should be, my opinion only, of course, there should be within the horse racing industry a zero tolerance policy on that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough. I know thoroughbred horses want to run. They don't. It's not like they're having to make them do it.
No, right.
They are competitive amongst themselves.
Right.
Which is interesting. But any mistreatment of any of those animals should be a lifetime ban for the people.
Oh, I think so too.
They should lose the animal, and they should lose their license, and they should lose the ability to work in that
industry. I agree.
They shouldn't even be allowed anywhere near these animals, and that should be the case. Instead of we're going to fine you,
fine you, and then
step off for a little while. Yeah. Well, the last Triple Crown horse here.
Oh yeah,
he tested positive, and
that's right.
What's his nuts? His owner Bob Baffert said, "No, it's impossible." Or he's fighting this whole thing,
right?
But the industry is going, "No, wait a minute. He's tested positive twice here
now."
And so Santa Anita, which is where that horse mainly works in California, they've banned him from being on that track for 5 years.
Really?
And the horse.
There you go.
And the horse you rode in on.
You and the horse you rode in on. Exactly.
Yeah, so he's been fighting that. It's a big legal thing. But no, I think when it comes to this, they should play a little heavier handed than what they are doing, I think lifetime suspensions, go find something else to do. That horse didn't ask for this.
No, yeah.
He might like racing and stuff, but,
I've heard what horses have to say. I've seen Mr. Ed.
Yes.
And he wasn't asking for shit like that.
Wilbur?
Yeah.
Light my crack pipe.
Wilbur, I can't light the crack pipe.
And just so you know, Mr. Ed was not hit with a cattle prod to make him talk. That's not how they did that.
I had never heard that.
Yeah, there was.
Was that? No.
Because if you hit a horse with a cattle prod, he's going to kick you.
Yeah.
Or bite you.
Yeah, right. No, what was it? Probably peanut butter on something?
They did at first.
It was like probably an apple slice with peanut butter or something.
There was a guy that, his handler would take a couple of fingers in a peanut butter jar and smear it across his teeth.
Yeah. And he's over there. It off.
He's having some fun with that.
Right.
But eventually, the actor that played Mr. Ed learned to do that without the peanut butter. And he learned the hand signals, and there would be guys back there making his hands, and he would move his lips around.
Really?
Yeah.
They trained him to do it by hand?
Yeah, well, he's a horse. They're not stupid.
Well, he's a horse, of course.